Hey everybody, welcome back to House of Grey Rabbit. I'm your host, as always, Grey Rabbit 80. And remember, women want him, men all want to be him. Prom Tom.
How y'all doing?
This week, though, it is Prime's choice. And what have you brought to the table for us this week, Prime?
The 13th unit.
Sounds vaguely interesting, the 13th unit. I hope. I really hope. We'll be right back. This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've seen tons. Oh, God, that seems so generic, like I say it all the time. But
it's the truth. But this was bad.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, this was worse. This was worse than Forbidden World. This was worse than Hard Rock Zombies. This
was worse than 616 Paranormal Incident.
It's just bad. Oh, man. This is one of those movies that just... I don't see how it ever became popular enough to get on to a service like Tubi. And remember, that's Tubi, and we'll talk about that later. Had to get that little thing right there. Yeah. So, let's talk about 13th Unit. When I first heard 13th Unit, I thought it was going to be a military film. I thought it was going to be something about the military. And then you read the description to me, and it was like a warehouse? No. They're talking storage unit.
Storage unit, yes.
So, what could be so scary about a storage unit? And we're talking about those ones you pay every month and they put a padlock on it and you store your stuff, rolling door. That's, if you don't know what a storage unit is, there you go.
Watch Storage Wars. There you go.
Okay. And this one's in Chicago, apparently. And it's called the Alcatraz Building. Because once it shuts down for the day, nothing gets in.
And nothing
gets out, they say. Alright, let's name off our main players. First, let's go with Franco. We actually have some names this time.
Yes.
But we will use nicknames for other people. We have Franco. Franco is the guy who's working at the storage unit.
Yes.
Then we have the two girls. One's, I think, bipolar.
Yeah.
And the other one's the sane one. And then we have two guys, two brothers. One has just gone through, his fiance or wife has died.
Yes.
And the other one's just trying to help him. Then you have the businessman and his worker guy that's at the very beginning. And then you have three students who are thrill hunters or thrill seekers.
Yes.
And
don't forget about the lady.
Oh, and then random lady.
Random lady.
Oh,
and the couple.
And then don't forget about the homeless guy also.
Yeah, the homeless guy too, yeah.
Some of these characters don't even last one scene. Literally, the homeless guy dies 30 seconds after we see him and meet him for the first time. Like, he's there.
And then he's gone.
And he's gone. So apparently, back in the 30s, I believe, by the description, there was some sort of mass killing here where, like, a lot of people died, and a bloodied someone was seen walking away by a witness, but that person was never found. Now, from that description, we don't know if it was the witness that was never found or the bloody person was never found. It's kind of vague.
Yeah, and also the killer was never found either.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the whole point of that whole thing. But it was over some stolen artifacts, which we later find out are grave statues.
Something like that, yeah.
From like
a demon stone.
Demon stones, yes, demon stones are what they're called officially according to the paper.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of these people are basically trying to either put stuff in or take stuff out of these storage units. Now, it starts out with a guy and his boss, the businessman and his worker.
Yes.
And the guy's really trying to work hard. He's trying to impress his boss. His boss is a real jerk, by the way.
Very much.
Right. And he snaps and beats him to death with a 2x4, which continues
throughout the entire movie,
really.
It feels good to know that your boss appreciates what you do and acknowledges it. Feels good, don't it?
This random lady gets sucked into a storage unit and apparently killed, but she shows up later again. The homeless guy shows up and talks to his daughter on the phone for a moment, and then he gets killed. And then, basically, The rest of the movie is just like an hour and 20 minutes of the main, like we have the 2 guys, the 2 girls, and the 3 students.
And the couple.
Basically trying to get out because the power shuts off and then all the doors lock. And apparently all the exits in this building don't work.
Yeah.
There's exit signs everywhere.
But there's no exits.
And all the fire exits are also locked, but in a way you can't get out of them, which I know is against the law, but I guess if you're a haunted storage building...
It's okay.
It's okay. There's also a creature that lives somewhere in this storage building, and...
We're not sure.
We're not... Okay, first off, it's either hairy or it's slimy.
Or both.
But because at one point you see a hairy thing, and at one point you see a slimy thing, but you never see what it really is.
You hear it.
This is one of those movies that they just don't show you the monster.
Yeah.
And then, like, okay, so in the very beginning, while the theme's going, we have someone recording themselves drawing with chalk on the ground. Now, at first, I thought, is this some sort of artist? What is going on here? And then it turns out that as you look, as the camera pulls back, that he's drawing, or whoever it is drawing some sort of ritualistic symbols on the ground.
Yes.
And he pulls out something that looks like a cheese log and pours what looks like raspberry syrup or maple syrup on the cheese log.
We're assuming that's the demon stones.
We think. Because supposedly when you pour blood on them, they whistle. Not lying here, folks. This is where it goes. So apparently one of the students was the guy in the beginning, and he actually drug his friends here almost, I guess, as sacrifices. The thing about this film is, this is about as thin as the plot is.
Yeah.
There's no
plot, really.
Well, there's nothing to work with to denote a story.
There's no background.
You know that the 2 girls, that one of them just broke up with a guy that cheated on her, and she's trying to get into her storage unit, but can't because it's too late.
Yeah, and she lost her key.
And she lost her key. The other one is just her friend.
Yes.
And, very rarely do they each other, of any of these characters, say each other's names. You just catch them here and there. Yeah. And then you have the 2 brothers, which, once again, one of them has had a female companion die. We don't know if it's a wife, a girlfriend, or whatever. Yeah. Maybe even a sister.
Yeah.
But she's dead, and he can't really get over it, and the brother is trying to help him get over it.
Yes.
Okay, then you have Franco, who's just a jerk. You have the homeless guy, who's just homeless. You have random lady, who's just random. And you have the couple who the guy keeps telling the girl, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
We can't do this here, but it's going to be okay.
He keeps trying to make out with her in the middle of the storage building.
Yeah.
But it's one of those... Remember when we coined the term Wile E. Coyote movie?
This is it.
This is another one. There was the ones we talked about before. This is another one. Doesn't have anything to it.
And it always goes back and forth between different scenes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. If we took a shotgun and we loaded it full of Tarantino, and then we shot it at a piece of paper, and then you connected the dots randomly while blindfolded.
This is the movie.
That's this movie. Because every so often, because all these couples and these people are separate at the beginning, it jumps between days ago to today, to tonight, to the morning,
to the hours,
to the hour, to back and forth and this and that. 4th time it did it, I looked at Prime and I was just like, seriously, because it doesn't. There's no reason for this. You could have just not added all the dates and stuff and just told everything from the beginning to the end. Start at the beginning, end at the end.
Because basically what it is, it's all coming together for them all be together, even though they're not all together because they all disappear. Which doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Towards the end of the film, you end up with one of the brothers, one of the girls, and one of the students. So you have 1 brother and 2 girls, okay?
Yeah.
1 girl gets killed. They knock out Michael. And so there's the Michael, by the way, is the name of the guy.
Who's crazy.
Yeah. So the 1 girl's killed. Michael gets knocked out or whatever. It's the brother and it's the student girl.
Yeah, that's right. Because
yes, it's brother and student girl. And they are escaping from the monster who's following them. And he gets hurt somehow. I'm not sure how. At one point, he's thrown by the monster, but it looks like, oh God, look over there! Whoa! Yeah. I don't understand.
I think he got stabbed on the pole.
That makes sense now that I think about it.
Because it showed his stomach.
He was holding and stuff. But the problem is they never show the wound and it never explains it visually.
Yeah.
So anyway, they finally get away. They get into a room. They shut the door and get it up. And this thing starts coming through the door and he yells, "Use the light. It can't handle the light." And she starts spraying it. Well, spraying it. She starts flashing this big flashlight he has at the door and it begins to burn as it writhes in pain. This is where it turned from slimy thing back to hairy thing.
Yeah.
It's like the director couldn't come up with a prop they wanted, so he just like used every shot he had. So it begins to burn. She's burning it. She's burning it. They get through another door and shut it. And she wakes up the next morning at 6:02 because we know that because the date and the time is on the ship, just like before. And she sees that sunlight is coming down through a grate, and so she knows that she's safe, right? She begins to call for it. Yeah, he's dead, by the way, because he was stabbed on the thing. And she crawls to the light and begins to yell for help, and then apparently it reaches through the door and grabs her and drags her off.
Which doesn't make any sense because if the light hurts it...
How could it go right into that room? Because it was full of light.
And that was it.
And that was the end of the 13th unit. I know we didn't go into like detail there. I know with the last one when we were talking about 616 and everything, like we were, or when we were talking about 616, I forget how the distance between movies here.
Yeah.
But when we talk about 616, a lot of people said we needed to have visual aids because it was so complicated. This one wasn't really that complicated, but it's really not worth going into a step-by-step breakdown of the movie because it's just not worth it. Like, there's nothing holding this movie together.
No, it was just a bunch of different scenes all put together, basically.
And it was filmed in a place that the entire thing is filmed in a building with silver walls and blue doors.
Yeah.
You might ever so often get a hallway where it's a white hallway or a stairwell or something. And so after like 20 minutes, you're just tired visually of it. It's just blah. It just makes you want to just take a nap.
It's the fact that, they don't explain where the creature came from, what the creature is.
No.
They don't explain anything.
Like, is the creature guarding the stones?
Yeah, that's...
Is the creature
guarding the
building?
Or
And why were the stones in a steamer trunk that they had to crawl down, like, all these tunnels and stuff to get to, and then they brought it out.
And another question is, what's with the slime coming out of people's ears?
I think when you get attacked by whatever it is, it makes you want to eat or something, because you had the monster, and then you had the lady that was like, "Oh, kill," and then you had the dude.
Boyfriend.
Yeah, the boyfriend.
Who choked his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He had the slime.
I forgot about the slime in his ear.
And then you had Michael, which that's the only one that actually had the slime. I
have no idea what the director was thinking with this one. I don't know. I'm just speechless. Like,
I'm assuming with the $18,000 budget, it was the cameras and the flashlights, because those are pretty powerful flashlights.
Well, and maybe that one shot of the monster when it's slimy or
hairy.
Maybe they had to pay the people to use the building, which is funny because the outside of the building calls it A-storage. It doesn't call it Alcatraz.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's made out of concrete. We're just going to call it Alcatraz. Make it sound cool. It's horrible.
Yeah,
I think it comes down to them when they ask why do they call it Alcatraz, and Franco's like, because nobody gets in and nobody gets out.
Yeah.
That
was it.
That's it. The acting's bad. The camera work is about the only thing on par in this movie. The scenery is horrible. It's boring. And we found this on Tubi. That's Tubi TV, and it's an app that you can get for free on most all your devices. We have it on PlayStation 4 and a couple of our phones.
Yes.
We watch movies off of Tubi all the time, and some of them we say, there's good stuff on Tubi. We don't want to drive people away from Tubi. We want Tubi to be our friend. But at the same time, you can find some cheap stuff. And this is one of those movies that just falls into that independent route where it's just bad. It's just someone who had enough money and enough cameras and enough friends to make a movie, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And that's really all there is to say about the 13th unit.
Yeah.
And I am worse for wear for watching this film. I swear to God, this is bad. Like, oh, I could give my nephews a camera and $10.
And they could do a better job.
And send them out in the yard. And they could make a better movie than this. like I said, that's been the 13th unit. Hope you guys had a good time with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos and everything. Sorry about 616 Paranormal Incident, about how clumsy that was put together. We were trying to explain the plot as best we could, but next time, anything is that in depth, we'll make sure that we have a chalkboard back here or something that we can give you guys some ideas.
That movie was pretty hard to explain, actually. It was, there was so much crap into it. It was horrible.
We already told you that, didn't we? Well, anyway, if you go out and find 13th Unit, if you see it just because we told you how bad it was, or if you happen to own it, which I'm so sorry, you wasted your money on this. We need to have a talk.
Big one.
Then please leave a comment down below.
And if you have any recommendations for us for the future, please let us know.
Also, subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, punch that like button right in the face. Oh, and don't forget to hit the bell if you want to be notified every time we put out a new video. Also, check out the playlist, guys, because it's got every video ever since the inception of the channel. Is it down over there? I don't...
There.
Used to, I remember my old channel, I remember always point over your right shoulder because this is where everything's at. But that's not how YouTube is anymore. It's
coming down there till... I think it's right here.
We'll figure it out later.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, thanks for coming along with us on this weird ride that was the 13th Unit. Make sure that you're tuning in every week for more content from us. And as always, we'll be seeing you.
So what? Now you're telling me you're afraid of demons?